This is the plaintiff, Keith Robinson. He says he and the defendant both live in the same neighborhood and they both have dogs. His dog is very friendly, but the defendant's dog's a vicious beast who should be put down because he attacked his leashed dog. The defendant's dog bum rushed them and clamped down on his dog's paw, destroying it. There's nothing more to say other than he wants the defendant to pay his $1,338 vet bill. This is the defendant, Alex Meyer. He says he and the plaintiff have had problems ever since the plaintiff moved into the neighborhood. The plaintiff's dog isn't neutered, so his dog came over for a smell and a fight broke out. His dog suffered a hematoma and had a number of puncture marks in his ear. The plaintiff's trying to pin the entire scuffle between both dogs on him. He doesn't feel like he did anything wrong and therefore isn't paying him a penny. He's accused of harboring a vicious beast.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant's dog attacked and destroyed his dog's paw. But the defendant says the plaintiff's dog isn't neutered and his dog just came over for a smell. It's the case of get a whiff of that.
Keith Robinson?
Yes.
You are suing Alex Meyer for $1,338 in vet bills that you say your dog incurred as a result of an attack by his dog, correct?
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
First of all, I just want to clarify a statement. I didn't say that his dog is a vicious animal that needs to be put down.
Okay.
What happened was my dog had been attacked by his dog twice on 2 occasions.
You don't think it's a vicious animal?
Well, he's not vicious with all dogs, just the unneutered dogs, and my dog is unneutered. And he, for some reason, when he sees my dog, he just goes ballistic. So I wouldn't say with all dogs, but with Max, it's a problem.
Okay.
Okay. This incident happened August 11th. I was on the park side where we live. We're neighbors. We live a block apart. And I was sitting on the bench. I had Max, his leash attached to the bench. I was going to smoke a cigar, which I do customarily. And there was a car parked right on the park side at the curb. And I could only see, over the roof of the car. And I didn't think anything of it. I saw the top of a woman's head coming towards me. And
towards you?
Towards the park side, like coming from the opposite
like she's going to go to the park.
Right.
Okay.
And at the last minute, I see Lucky come around.
Lucky is his dog.
It's his dog.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a chocolate lab.
And what kind of dog do you have?
He's an American Staffordshire Terrier, which is similar to a pit bull.
Okay.
He's big too.
Do
you have a picture?
Yeah, I do. Actually.
Do you have a picture? What kind of dog owner are you? You don't have a single picture of your dog?
I do. It's on my phone.
Take me a second. My phone is
That's all right.
Just
It's very
holler.
cute, Lucky. I'm the dog walker.
Come on up. I can't hear you from your chair. Can you come on up?
Yeah.
You're his dog walker?
Well, I'm actually a neighbor.
Okay.
And
You don't need to lean over.
you're
Stand
good.
up straight.
I've been a pit bull owner for years and happen to know and really love the dog.
Was that the first time you walked Lucky? Or
No, it was the second or third time.
What's your dog's name?
Max.
Okay. And is this a picture of your dog?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I got to say, I don't normally find pit bulls cute because this is the litigation I see all day long. It's 90-something% pit bulls. But I got to say, that dog is cute.
Isn't he?
Yeah. It takes a lot for me to say that.
You need to see him.
Is it a she or a he?
Judge, you need to
Hold
see
on.
him in.
So now you see the top of her head heading towards the park.
Right.
Can you give me this phone back? And all of a sudden, what happens?
So I couldn't see the dog that she was walking. And
Had you ever seen her walking Lucky before or no?
I saw her like a month or two before, but this was at night, so I
Yeah.
didn't know,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who she was.
Right.
'Cause I couldn't see her face or the dog. So at the last moment, I see Lucky come around the edge of a car, around the end of a car, the bumper, and it was about just where your bench is and to where I was.
Okay.
So all I could do, because they walk him on an extended leash, and he
You
was
walk a pit bull on an
extended.
extended leash?
Right. So
It's one of the ones that unravels.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, I had
So-
it was locked when I started him.
Well, what happened?
that it wasn't, if it was locked, the lock wasn't working because once I saw him, he charged Max because he must have scented him already. And he charged, all I could do was try to stand in between, and he just got between my legs and grabbed Max. I couldn't even unleash him from the bench. That's how fast he came. That leash was just stretched right out.
How far was she from the dog?
It was she was still
More
near
or
the
less.
curb. It was maybe about 8 feet.
8 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens to Max?
So Lucky clamped down on his right front paw and just mangled it. So I sent a picture.
Oh, goodness. How many stitches did your dog get?
It's in the vet report. I don't know how many it was, but it was.
How is he, by the way?
What happened?
Thank you. I would like to explain. So I just want to say something. Did you hear me yell? Because I yelled when Lucky, first of all, I was coming out the door with Lucky. And I was thinking, now this has happened once before with this gentleman's dog. So I was thinking, okay, good. It's 12:30 at night. He won't be around. I can relax and walk Lucky. I'm coming out my front door. We head towards the park. I don't remember the thing with the leash. I don't know if I had locked it or I had my finger on it. I'm walking towards the park. Yes, there's cars there, so I don't see anybody he's sitting on the bench. I don't see anybody on the bench because all I see are the parked cars. We're walking to, all of a sudden Lucky starts getting very agitated and aggressive. And then I could see between the cars, it was just this gentleman and his dog. And I knew right away because we had a problem in the past. So I yelled, I said, move your dog.
Move your dog. I'm losing control of the pit bull I'm walking. Move your dog. And he didn't move?
He didn't move.
Yeah, damn. That's your fault because you didn't move. Are you kidding me?
So are pit bulls more aggressive than the average dog? What do you think?
I don't believe so. I believe all dogs are predators and they just need to be respected.
Really, all dogs are predators. Pit bulls more aggressive?
No, I don't think so. I think the media portrays them as more aggressive, but in actuality, I think all dogs are really friendly in a sense because they're all
dogs are friendly.
Depends how much the dog's been trained.
So nobody thinks they're inherently aggressive.
No.
Interesting. Going inside the courtroom.
You are walking a pit bull, you do not see him, and you're doing anything other than saying, let me pay your vet bill? Why? What's the defense? I've heard your testimony. What is the defense? You had her walking your dog, and she apparently is not big enough because she weighs like one of my thighs, okay, to hold the dog back. What is the defense?
Well, the defense is I don't think that she was incapable. She's had these breed of dogs before that are very strong.
But apparently the proof is that she was, right?
I know, but I had no way of being
but once
sure
it
of that.
happened, it's sort of like, have you had her walk the dog again since then?
No, I have not.
Okay, and you shouldn't because you are, and according to you, did you say something to him about having people walk the dog who are strong enough to control it?
After the first attack, my wife was walking Max, and another lady, when he was on vacation again, he had another woman walking Lucky. From a distance of more than 30 yards, that dog pulled the lady, she fell, she let go of the leash, and he attacked Max.
Don't you know any big men?
Well, this woman is about 5'10".
Well, she was
Well, apparently the dog is bigger than the woman.
Right.
The dog pulls a woman to the ground. Did you know about that?
Yeah, that was the first
Okay,
attack.
so why do you continue to have people walk the dog who can't hold the dog back? I mean, but in any event, you know that she, in the end, I mean, this is not an attack. It's not a personal thing. I'm sure you're sorry that this happened, right?
Of course.
Did you say you were sorry to him when it happened? Were you horrified?
I was mortified.
Okay, but once we know it happens, what is the reason that you don't pay the vet bill?
Well, actually, to be quite frank, I had offered to pay the vet bill. The problem is I don't have the funds to pay the bill at one time, so I created an installment plan with Keith, and I kind of understand a little bit why he went through the judicial process anyways, but the fact is that I was willing to do a direct deposit setup with him. This was before I found out that my dog also incurred injuries, and I have the proof of that.
What happened to your dog?
He ended up getting some bites in the ear, and I'm not asking why it happened. It happened because his dog was trying to defend itself.
Right.
But those ended up becoming infected. Despite our best efforts to keep them from becoming an infection, he developed a hematoma, which I had to pay to get fixed. So in the meantime, I now have that incurrence. Also at the same time that I didn't have the money to pay his amount in the first place. I could only promise $50 a month. I'm sorry?
It's kind of expensive to own a pit bull.
Well, to be honest with you, if you go to rescue dogs nowadays, about 80% of them are pit bulls. You don't really have a whole lot of choice.
Can you imagine why?
But you know, this dog.
Well, I've
is
neutered my dog, just so you
sweet.
know. I don't procreate them, and the problem is that in certain neighborhoods such as ours, the majority of people that have pit bulls and even some other breeds don't neuter their dogs.
Well,
or spay, and they're being
just out of curiosity, not that you have to. There's no law that says that you have to, but I'm curious, why didn't you?
Well, I had put it off, but it's not something that I was really.
Do you have some like psychological or
no.
spiritual thing against it, or you just didn't have the funds to do it?
No, I had the funds. I just hadn't done it, and
you just lazy?
No, I didn't think it.
I mean,
was
if the dog is a target of other dogs in the neighborhood because of it, like,
one dog.
Did you want to breed it?
I thought about it at one time because he's a chocolate lab and he's beautiful. You know, now he's been scarred a few times, but it's something I thought about. He's
that
6.
Could just give him character to the ladies.
He's 6 now. Yeah, right.
But
you got to pay the bill, Mr. Meyer. I understand your finances, but no, you need to stop. Okay, you've got to pay the bill. I understand that you made an effort. The thing is, he has the right to go, like you explained so eloquently, to the judiciary and say, I don't want to take an exam. I want a judgment against him, and he's getting a judgment against you now. Let me explain to you why this should be worrisome to you, because now there's going to be a judgment against you, and if your dog does anything else to anybody else or any other animal, it's going to be much worse for you because you are on notice. Okay, so you need to figure it out, whether it's putting a muzzle on your dog, or having someone who is demonstrably able to pull the dog back in a moment like this, because that's what the law requires. The law requires you to have control over the dog. It's not enough to shout, hey, I'm losing control over the dog. You have to have control over the dog. If the dog is pulling and the person who's walking cannot hold on to the dog, you do not have control of the dog, because a dog is a dog. The dog, that's its nature. It's an animal. It's the human conduct that we punish in court. It's not the dog conduct. Lucky's doing what comes naturally to Lucky. He smells testosterone and he wants a piece of it, you know? Yeah. Okay? Who can blame Lucky? Okay, so it's really that the premise of this judgment that I'm entering against you is because you negligently assigned to someone who it turns out couldn't handle it the walking of your dog, in particular when you were on notice that there were problems between these two dogs, without a muzzle and without her being able to contain the dog. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the vet bill, which is $1,338. Good luck, folks.
All right, so the defendant's out here first. The owner of Lucky, step on in a little closer here. Tell me what's your reaction to the outcome here?
I kind of figured this is how it would end up, but I just wanted to present my side of the case because I did incur some vet bills myself.
All right. Well, you accept responsibility for what happened out in the street?
Yeah, and I want to make sure that I prevent this from happening in the future. I guess I'll have to use bonded or insured.
You're on notice now, as the judge said with Lucky. What are you going to do differently now?
Well, I'd understood that this was always dog to human issues, but if it's dog to dog for the future, then I'm going to have to be on double notice.
And have you ever apologized to your friend and neighbor there?
I think I did. Okay. I think we did. We met before all this.
All right. Right around the corner there. Okay. So does that mean that all is well in the neighborhood for you guys?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as Max is not attacked again, so we'll be fine.
Well, how do you know that this is not going to happen again?
No, we're gonna try and hopefully. Normally, as we walk our dogs, we're cognizant of who's around us. So I'm looking out for him. He's looking out for me. So if we do that, we should be fine.
And neutering, is that out of the question?
For now.
Of the dog, I mean.
Yes.
Harvey?
Okay, so here are the ground rules. You have to have a dog on a leash. If you don't have a dog on a leash, dog gets in a fight, you're going to be responsible for the fight. But there's one other point that you have to consider. It's not just having a dog on a leash, it's having control on the dog. If you give a 6-year-old kid a leash with a dog on it, and the dog's really big, and that 6-year-old can't control the dog, it's as if the dog isn't on a leash. So the person controlling the dog has to have the strength and the ability to do that, or that dog owner is liable.